Well, pick this one up cheap. This is a Collective Bikes LH1. I believe that stands for Little Harry 1. Not really a big follower of that brand or Mafia, but here it is. It was cheap, like I say. I think these are £750, £730 brand new or something like that, and it's an odd mishmash of parts for that, I can say that much. So first off with the drivetrain, this is original. We've got SRAM NX Eagle with a dub bottom bracket, so I mean you can say it's not bad, same as the other bike. The same as Mondraker, for crying out loud, so the drivetrain's not that bad, pretty good drivetrain. It's not running press fit or anything like that. This is a dub bottom bracket that is threaded. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's, yeah, I believe it is just a standard bottom bracket. Frame is a pretty basic thing, to be honest. Got a tapered head tube. Yeah, it didn't take them like 5 years to do that, did it? No, all jokes aside, the Collective first C100 that came out, tapered head tubes were like the norm, and it was not tapered. It took them the V2 for them to do that. So hey ho, that's what it is. Rather long stem on there by today's standards, but that's just the OEM stem and bars. And they're 740s, so these things are meant more for kids, so narrow bars. The really weird thing about this frame is, and I know jump bikes use these seat tubes, but mountain bikes really don't, not these days. Mountain bikes are all dropper post, and you can't get a dropper post in here, at least not as far as I know. This is a very small seat tube, seat post diameter. I don't know the exact diameter, but I know it's the same as that, so that's yeah, kind of strange. It's also got pannier mounts, which is also really strange for a mountain bike these days. I used to see it back in the day. This one had a bit of an oopsie at Danbury. I assume it was dry, because the tyres were obviously slicks, you know, semi-slicks rather. They're more of an urban tyre than an off-road tyre. Danbury's a dirt track. You smashed the derailleur hanger off of it, and then I ended up with it, so I put a chain on it. I'm waiting for the proper hanger on to modify that one just for the time being. I want to see what it rides like. And yeah, the other weird thing about this for the price point, although there are bikes with some tour forks, but these are Zooms. Now Zooms are usually found on bikes that cost like $49.99 for a whole bike from Sports Direct. Yeah, they're like the cheapest of the cheap suspension forks. Yes, they do this crappy like downhill fork thing in like more recently. It's just a coil spring that looks like a RockShop boxer but isn't. They've done stuff like that for a long time. But yeah, this is an air fork though, so most Zoom forks are not air forks, so kind of unusual. I mean, lockout's broken, and well, it's not, hang on, it's not broken so much as it's unscrewing itself out the top of the fork, and water leaks out of here, and it was water, it wasn't oil. I believe they're cartridges. I think there's a cartridge in this leg and a cartridge in that leg. Could be wrong there. This air cap's loose as well, so I'm hoping it's a cartridge. I'm going to tighten that up before I ride it. But yeah, so it's a Zoom Vaxa air spring guide, kind of like the RockShox one. Don't know if it's a dual air spring like the RockShox, as in there's two air springs, they pressurise themselves on their own, or if it's just a single air spring. Thanks to a bit of a scratching to them, but yeah, I don't think these are super high end. They're very flexible. Quick release on the front. It is just a basic bike with a rather decent drivetrain, or at least for the price, a decent drivetrain. That's where all the money went basically. But yeah, would I recommend one of these over something like a Voodoo Brag or a Marin or something like that? No, is the honest answer. The dropper post is probably the biggest killer in 2024. But if you're just going to ride around the streets, you know, with your mates as a kid, then it's probably totally fine. I mean, the first thing you're going to kill is these suspension forks. They're gonna die. I'm surprised they're still in one piece. We used to have these forks called RSTs when I was a kid, and we used to snap them off just there. We made a dirt jump in the middle of a park. Typically there'd be like a downhill bit, and then followed by an uphill bit. And in the middle you'd build dirt jumps. Of course you didn't have any permission or anything like that, you just got a shovel and shoveled some dirt up and then pointed the bike at it kamikaze, hoping for the best. So usually fork failures were not uncommon, likewise frame failures were not uncommon either. Usually what happens is, not so bad with these tyres, they're not knobbly. In fact there's good clearance, there's actually decent clearance here, but older frames didn't have good clearance. you'd end up eating into the frame of the tyre, weaken it, and it'll snap. But this is tube. This isn't like a CNC machined piece welded to a bit of tube. This is actually tube all the way that's crushed. So this would be done separately in a jig on a machine, and then welded to that bottom bracket shell. Welding on here looks reasonable, pretty decent. Like a stack of dimes, so I mean, yeah, it's not Dicko quality. If anyone knows who that is, then I work with you. So yeah. Anyway, it's all right, not bad. There's no cracks in it or anything like that, so that's good. It's not an old Kona, for example, that's got a cracked head tube. But yeah, Collective Bikes LH1. So thank you for watching.